It's 9 p.m. and your baby is finally asleep. You just ate dinner, you're not hungry, and you know you're not hungry, yet you're standing in front of the pantry. You open it, you close it, and then you open it again. And then comes the guilt, not just about what you're about to eat, but the fact that you can't seem to stop this from happening night after night. So if this is you, this video is going to explain why this is happening. So, what you're experiencing has a name, and it is called food noise. Food noise is the term used to describe persistent, involuntary thoughts about food. Now, here's why naming this matters. When something has a name, it stops feeling like a personal failure. For a long time, food noise didn't have a name, it just existed in private shame. Like, I have no self control or something is wrong with me. And most moms I work with have been carrying that shame for months before they ever even find out about what they're experiencing is a documented biological phenomenon. The term became widely used when many people started using GLP-1 medications like Ozempic or Wegovy, and they started to experience this, right? The noise in their head just stopped. That constant mental chatter about food went quiet. So that observation confirms something important. Food noise is not a personality flaw, it has a biological mechanism and it can have solutions. And postpartum is one of the most common times that food noise peaks for very specific biological reasons, which is exactly what I want to talk through right now. There are 4 things that can happen at the same time when you're in this postpartum period. So let me go through each one. Number 1, you are under eating during the day. This is extremely common, and most people are underestimating this. You have coffee for breakfast, maybe a piece of bread in the morning, and it's like, boom, you got the baby, you got to wash things, you got to do a million things at once, and you're exhausted. So sometimes food, it just flies over our head. By 9 p.m., or even by the afternoon, your body is screaming for food, and it's screaming for it urgently and persistently. So that moment in front of the pantry in the evening isn't you being impulsive, it's your body really trying to feed you what it's been missing out on earlier in the day. Number 2 is your blood sugar may be unstable. When you eat a meal without protein or fat, right, like just that slice of bread, your blood sugar can rise quickly and then it drops. In that drop, the brain sends out emergency signals for fast energy. Those signals are specific, like intense cravings. So this is that 3 p.m. craving that shows up every day like clockwork, regardless of what you ate earlier. Then the third one is sleep deprivation is changing your hunger hormones. So this one is very direct and measurable. When you don't sleep enough, like, which is what happens when you have a baby, and sometimes older kids too, like toddlers, 2 hormones shift in the direction that we don't really want. So ghrelin, the hormone that makes you feel hungry, is increasing, and then the hormone called the leptin to help you feel full goes down. So this results in a nervous system that registers hunger more quickly and less satisfaction from actually eating. Number 4 is chronic stress is activating your brain's reward systems. So you likely may have elevated cortisol, which is your primary stress hormone. So this is your body then wanting to crave quick energy. So it's not you being weak. Your body is actually trying to be efficient, and it's doing exactly what a stressed nervous system is designed to do: look for relief and give you quick energy. Any one of these factors would make food noise louder. Now, all 4 together, that's why you feel like you can't trust yourself around food right now. And that feeling is not about willpower. Now, I want to talk about something that is really important because food noise exists on a spectrum, and knowing where you are on that spectrum determines what kind of support is actually useful. So, on one end, food is primarily biological, it shows up at predictable times, and it's not so much in your head, right? Too much. This is where sometimes postpartums are at. They just need a little bit more structure, a little bit more strategy in their life. In the middle, we have food noise where it gets a bit more intense and it is affecting your daily life and it starts to become hard to focus. On the other opposite extreme end, food noise is accompanied by extreme feelings of guilt and shame. So if this sounds familiar, it's actually really important to work with a dietitian, but also a therapist who specializes in this area. Working with both, you likely will get the most success. So here's what I want you to know. There is no threshold of severity. You can get help whether you feel like you don't experience food noise, you're in the middle, or you experience it greatly. Now, what actually does not work, this is very important. So willpower, thinking, I'll be more disciplined, typically does not work. Eliminating foods that you crave does not work. Eating less does not work. It likely is just going to grow and get worse. Here is what actually helps. Eating frequently, so eating every 3 to 4 hours. This is important because that consistent timing will make your body feel safe and it won't sound off any alarms in your body. Putting protein and fat at every meal or snack every 3 to 4 hours, not just at dinner, not just in breakfast, but snacks and all the meals. Protein helps us feel full. Fat will slow down digestion, again helping us feel full, and extends the window before the next hunger signal. Use a bridge snack at 3 p.m. So again, this applies to that protein, fat, and carb at the meals. So thinking about like hard-boiled egg and some crackers and grapes could be a good example. And do not arrive at night in a deficit. Eat your calories first thing in the morning. During the daytime, you'll feel a lot calmer and more satiated when the nighttime comes. And last one is reduce the judgment, not the food. Labeling foods as good or bad or off limits creates a psychological dynamic that makes them more mentally present, and it doesn't help us with the goals that we want to achieve in the end. So when your body trusts that food is coming regularly, the noise tends to be more quiet. It may not be immediate, but over time, you would notice a trend that it does get more quiet. So I also want to address something because I know many of you are watching this and you may be thinking about a GLP-1 medication. And here's what's true. GLP-1 medications can reduce food noise significantly. It's one of the most consistently reported effects. So if you're considering this after you finish breastfeeding, that's definitely a legitimate conversation you can have with your doctor. Here's what I also want you to know. If the underlying cause of food noise is undereating during the day and unstable blood sugar, or stress, or not having enough time to meal prep or do certain things, which is a very common barrier for many postpartum moms, the medication won't necessarily build the habits that we need to work on. It doesn't ensure you're getting enough protein to protect your muscle mass. It doesn't make you go to do workouts at home or wherever you want to do them. It doesn't create the foundation that determines where you maintain your results after you eventually stop. So I work with moms who are on GLP-1 medications, who are considering it and who are choosing not to use it. My position on the medication itself is neutral. However, nutrition is the foundation, and GLP-1 medication is a tool, and the two can work well together. So if you want a full breakdown of GLP-1 and postpartum weight loss, including what to know before starting, what to expect while on it, and what an exit strategy looks like, I have a complete article on this linked in the description below. And if you've been watching this and you're recognizing yourself, I want you to know something, that you are not broken, you are not weak, you are a postpartum mom running on very little sleep, and you're probably actually not eating enough and dealing with a lot of other stressors in life. So the fact that you've been trying so hard and it hasn't worked doesn't mean that you cannot do this. It just means that maybe we have the wrong framework or wrong strategy and we just need to do something else. So I've linked below a free guide I created specifically about food noise for postpartum moms, and it goes deeper into everything I covered today, and it gives you a simple structure to start with. If you want to work through this with actual support, I am a registered dietitian, and I work with moms exactly like you, virtually. So the link to book a free 15-minute discovery call is also in the description, and I take insurance, so it's worth checking before you assume it's out of reach. A lot of moms are surprised to find out what their insurance does cover. If this video was helpful, share it with other moms who needed to hear it, and I'll see you in the next one.